Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com doing a trading strategy recap for Wednesday the 24th of June. And today was a fairly interesting day. Today the market did gap down a little bit. It did chop around. As it moved up, it just rolled over from there. Our one trade of the day, we tried to get long up here thinking that it would support and begin to move higher. But the opposite happened. It stopped us out, and then price just started to work lower. As it moved down, it started to move sideways. We tried to get in, couldn't. Over here, price did move down, and then it just chopped around, and then it moved down again. So as we did close the room. We did talk about right here, trying to, possibility of being short. We closed the room over here after we missed this trade. After we missed this short trade, market started to move down. We started closing the room, and we talked about getting short. And the interesting thing was the market came right down into our area that we were looking for, and it actually closed slightly below it. So that was actually pretty interesting. We were able to risk, less than 3.5 points, depending on where your entry was, to make, a 10 plus point trade. That was actually pretty interesting. Obviously we don't count that because that was not inside the room, because anything outside of 12 is kind of like nothing. But it was interesting, where the morning was not really that good. The afternoon turned into a phenomenal trade. And sometimes that happens. Usually that's not the case. And that's why I always say I only trade 1 to 2% of the afternoons. Just because the afternoons are usually boring. Every now and then you'll catch a nice trade. But when I used to trade all day long, I found myself, in the afternoons just becoming very bored and just not really seeing much. From that, my time's better spent doing other things. Trading in the afternoon for me is just boring. But you do have some afternoons that turn out to be very, very good. This trade here, you would have been able to, move your stop down from here and just write it. And you would have been able to close it near the lows. It was very good. And we don't usually talk about afternoon trades because a lot of times there just aren't any. Or just aren't any that are so clear that we can talk about them. Every now and then we do, and for the most part, if you take statistical analysis of all of the trades that we talked about going into the afternoon, the majority of them make money. And that's what trading's all about, is being able to pick your spots and, try to make money. Obviously today in the room, we did not make any money. But we only lost 4 points. That's not a big deal because we're working with a lot more. We look to make 50 to 100, sometimes more per month. And being able to do that, a couple points here and there is kind of a drop in the bucket. Now, when you start losing 15, 20, 30 points, that's a problem. And depending on what your trading strategy is, you're going to be able to look at that slightly differently. But that's the way we look at it. So anyway, hopefully that made sense to you. You got something out of it. Have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.